There's Dash.
Yeah,
Dash
I'm on my phone.
Okay, screw it. We'll go back to this one. But we can still hear you, I think, can we?
Oh, you can still hear me?
Yeah, we can still hear you.
Can you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I just want to make sure you can hear me.
Yeah, it's just the layout. I obviously made some adjustments, as you can tell.
No, yeah, it looks nice. I have no queries. It's better than seeing my head animation. But I one of the things, so like some of the things here that I've seen that I'm a little bit concerned about is one is like the depth. I think the depth is a big concern that we have, because if you don't have Coop or Douglas Luiz, we're gonna be in trouble.
That sounded like a '94 Civic with the cherry bomb muffler driving past you.
No, it was a 2006 Ford Mustang. But because, like, for example, I look at how Douglas Luiz takes the ball, commands the ball, dumps the ball forward, and then I looked at Fagioli the first half, and I looked at Locatelli the first half, and it's just like those two to me are just not good on the ball facilitators from what I've seen this game. It's just the gap between Douglas Luiz and them is so huge.
Do you know what I think the problem is, Dash? Just to go even a bit deeper into what you're saying, I think the problem is that Locatelli and Fagioli don't have the confidence of a Douglas Luiz to try his passes.
Absolutely.
I think they can actually make them work, but they don't have the confidence to try those cutting passes. Like Douglas Luiz came in and he dared to make those passes, and immediately like the danger that he created.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was a 35-yard chip through ball over the center, and then you saw Weah starting to go towards it, and I'm just like, that's what you need. You need a pass like that to stretch center backs back, to keep them honest in a sense. Because, like, for example, the first half, I'm just watching Allegri ball all over again. Send it out to the wings, hope the wingers do something out of it, and make a meal out of it. So it's just, I'm looking at it tactically, and I'm just like, this is the same exact thing that that we've seen the last 3 years. And then it's like, you put in Douglas Luiz, and you put in Danilo, and you put in Bremer, and it's almost like a totally different thing where it's like, these guys understand what you need to do, and all three of them are confident on the ball. Where, like, for me, it's just like Loca's not confident, Fagioli's not confident, and then Thuram, that's not the role I'm asking for Thuram to do, to facilitate the ball. Like, it was just one of those.
Thuram is there for cleanup.
Yeah, and this is where I find my frustrations a little bit, where it's like Fagioli and Locatelli are both, I don't want this. Here, take it, Cambiaso, or here, take it, Gatti, or here, take it, right back, or here, Cabal, take it. Like, that's where I'm just like, I'm looking at this and it's like, dude, that doesn't work. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that to me is just it's not a good look when you see that. And it's like Douglas Luiz says, hey, I'm taking this ball and I'm dinking it. And I can only imagine with Coop Myers as well, fingers crossed that deal goes through. I think this game and Douglas Luiz coming in shows you how important it is to have Coop Myers on this roster. Yeah. Because, like, for example, if you have Coop Myers, Thuram, and Luiz, the gap between those three and Locatelli and Fagioli is insurmountable at this point. Like, yeah, Locatelli's facilitating and moving the ball, but again, Loca, to me, does not have the cojones to make the plays that a Douglas Luiz can, or to make a play that a Coop Myers can. It's just, he's fine as a depth option, but it showed. Like, it completely showed, where it's just like one guy. And the irony of it is Douglas Luiz came back, maybe a week and a half worth of training, tops?
Yeah.
So it's like he comes in and then he's able to do this, where Locatelli's been here all summer. Same thing with Fagioli.
And don't forget a couple of seasons already with the team, to build chemistry with the players, to know where they are on the pitch. Like, even if he plays a bit more up front, he still has to know his teammates, like kind of, and he didn't prove anything, unfortunately.
No, they didn't. It's like, for example, the only player that's kind of come out in preseason that's really kind of gotten me like, okay, there's something here, is Weah.
Weah, and I agree 100%. Weah is kind of in the McKennie situation last season, where we didn't expect a big jump, but McKennie did that jump and made himself like an important player for the team, and I think Weah has done just the same. I think Weah, Thuram more so in the first game, but those two are the bright spots, and of course Douglas Luiz, like in the last half an hour or 25 minutes that he played, like incredible.
I mean, you look at his corners. His corners were better than Fajoli's, better than even Kiesa's corners. I mean, it's just
Absolutely.
that to me that is what, like, for example, folks need to understand. That is what a full, complete midfielder looks like.
Yeah.
Like that right there, what Douglas Luiz is the definition of a complete player from the midfield perspective.
Yeah.
From the defensive contribution to the on the ball facilitation to the movement facilitation to the passing facilitation. Douglas Luiz has all of that, and the fact that we got him for the price that we did is an absolute steal. And and again, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to agree. I still can't believe that we have him in the Juventus jersey. I watched so much Aston Villa last season and knew about his magic. I didn't even think about a player like him because I never thought that we will still buy
get him
from the top shelf, basically, of world football. And he is from the top shelf of world football.
He is,
and it's crazy. And you saw it immediately, like how different. Like he's actually different.
It's the first time I've seen an elite midfielder on this roster for almost 7-8 years at this point.
Yeah.
Like this is like the first time in almost ages that I've seen that. Because it's just
what was the last one? I think it was Pogba 1.0.
Yeah, Pogba in the 15-16 season.
Yeah, crazy.
That's the only time we've had a midfielder like that was the last. Yeah. Unless you want to argue and say Khedira and Pjanic the following season, the Champions League season, but then
Khedira is more so a bit more like defensively the guy that cleans a bit up. But offensively, like Khedira, as much as I love him, he doesn't contribute offensively like Douglas Luiz does.
I'm excited if Koopmeiners does join the roster. If we're able to purchase Koopmeiners, I'm very, very excited on what potentially could happen.
And right now, I still don't know what to think. By the way, on Koopmeiners because of the different reports of the money, man.
If you are able to get it beneath the 60 million asking price, that means that that's a good sign. Because, like, for example, we've heard 60 since the beginning of the summer, right? Atalanta's asking price is 60 mil. The only time where I would start kind of being like, is if we go beyond the 60. If you're getting it for 50 mil, 51, 2, or 3, that's kind of a win because, one, you forced Atalanta to go below their asking price. I'm not saying that, we should go parade around the streets, like we've won something. I still think, right, like I think the sweet spot is 45 to 50. That's my personal opinion, where I could, because the issue with Koopmeiners is in the last, I believe, 2 to 3 seasons, he's got 30 goal contributions as a midfielder.
Yeah.
22 goals, 8 assists. That is really, really good. That is really, really good. So that's where it's just like I look at it and I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, you've got Douglas Luiz, who's a double player, right? A double-digit goal contributions player. You have Koopmeiners as well, double player. And then Thuram, I just need him to clean up loose balls, facilitate play to Dougie and to Coop. I'm happy. Same thing with Cabal in the fullback position, because I think for sure it's going to be Cabal, Bremer, Danilo, and then Cambiaso. I think that's what your back line is going to be. That's what I've seen so far. But when you have that there, I think that back line is fine. I think that midfield trio is going to be good. I like Yildiz and Weah as your wingers because they have different characteristics, and I think they complement each other well.
Yeah.
If you're able to purchase Galeno, I'm happy with that. I would be even more excited because then again, you have a proven facilitator. For me, I still have a concern on the 9. I still have a concern with Dusan.
100%. The question is though, Dash. The question though, Dash, what my problem or my question is with that? what would you do if you're the management? Will you get a striker that can challenge Vlahovic to have him fight for a spot, or to get like his juices flowing, or whatever, or I don't know what Vlahovic needs to find consistency, or are you looking for a rotational piece striker? Well, what would your plan be at this point?
Right now at this point, with Milik essentially injured or out the door, you need someone that can press him for the starting role. Whether because one, if Dusan feels threatened, then okay, pack your bags, take a transfer, and go somewhere else, right? It's because my issue is like I still look at him now, and I still don't see any change in the way that he plays. Like, for example, the way that he took the penalty, yes, he was fortunate that the goalkeeper went the other way. He scored the penalty, right? That's part of the battle of scoring it. But I look at the run-up.
Position bad. It was like half-assed somewhere. It wasn't towards the bottom post or whatever.
No, it was off center a little bit. And then again, like for example, if you're playing against, I'm not knocking the Brest goalkeeper, but again, if you're playing these higher end goalkeepers, that's a save. So for me, again, like a couple of facilitation of plays, the header that he missed in the first half, I still have that concern where it's just, for me, it's like for the amount of money that he's in, and it's just like the facilitation, he needs to be able to be that big brute facilitator up top. And I think that's one of those things where I'm a little bit concerned, because you have Dougie, who is able to send these nice 40-yard screamers to you. If you aren't able to be physical and win that and facilitate the ball, dude, we have a problem. Like, we have a huge problem if he is not able to facilitate and do that kind of stuff. But for me right now, with the current, because I saw the links to Armando Broja again, which for me makes no sense, because Armando Broja makes no sense to purchase, because again, he's another Dusan. So it's like, he's not, in my opinion, Broja is not going to challenge Dusan for the starting role, and he's not going to offer anything different. Broja is essentially if Chiesa was a striker. That's what it is. Broja was so based off of speed, tore his ACL and injured his knee, and then that's pretty much it, done and dusted.
Honestly, so I think Raspadori would be perfect for that role, because he can facilitate, he can finish it if needed. Like he is the perfect like middle ground that you would need to keep Vlahovic honest.
Yeah, and it's difficult. Like, for example, yes, on paper, Coop is worth 40 million, but the problem is how pivotal he can be to a side. Because Atalanta is not stupid. Because that is one thing about them, is they're not dumb. Because why would they sell one of their key pieces for 40 million?
Yeah, no, they know.
Because like the issue is if it's not us, especially because like for example, Manchester United overspent on Julian. So what makes Atalanta think they're going to reduce their price if they know that there's going to be teams out there that is going to drop that amount of money?
Yeah, but the problem is Manchester United shouldn't be the bar for what is a correct purchase or not, because Manchester United is dumping money everywhere. For example, Liverpool bought Dominik Szoboszlai last year for 55 or 60, I believe. So he was cheaper than Mason Mount. They bought Alexis McAllister for a 30 million release clause, like a complete bargain. Like there are clubs out there that are doing like actual good work. Even Manchester City, although they paid a lot of money in the past, and now that they killed the system, they can pay a little bit less and keep their team good. But yeah, Manchester United is not the team that you should look at.
No, and that's a fact for sure. Go ahead, Canadian Dave, or Maple Dave is
Maple Dave. Yeah. So it is a call-in show, so the link is in there. I just Dash needed to get all his hatred out first. Clearly, it's all out. We did even announce that the game was finished, because Dash just like showed up and said, "Fuck life." We're going for it. So yes, the game.
Well, I mean, it's I'll transition to whoever hops in. I'll get off when they get on. So because I'm still not home yet, but I just wanted to kind of state the piece a little bit and just kind of talk about it a little bit because the other thing too, I kind of wanted to touch on because like I saw it last night. I posted on Discord about Chiesa not being called up. Guys, like I saw comments where it's just like, oh, these guys need to give him a chance and yada yada. They are. It's called. They've allowed him to be fully participant in training, and he still hasn't been called up. So that tells you that hey, you don't do what I need you to do. Like that's. Go ahead, Dave.
It's got to be mentality. I don't think it's pure technical choice. It's got to be on the personality. And we have Sal. Let's go, Sal.
What's going on, boys?
Well, another Saturday
And
night.
and also before Sal comes in, just to add to Dash and Dave, Chiesa had 7 months to prove himself. He had from January to now to prove himself. Like, how much time do you need?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, it's just again because I keep seeing it where everyone's like, "Oh man, why don't they give him?" Guys, they're doing 2-a-days, they're doing training, they're doing this. Where it's like he's not being called up, and it's like, for example, if there was a team that was linked to him to like close the deal, like for example, Todibo, right? Like Todibo is essentially on the verge of being done. Yeah, I understand him being sat for that, but nobody's looking for him. And they're allowing him to participate in full training. So, like, for example, if he's convinced people otherwise for it, like, for example, if he had lights out training for the last week and a half or 2 weeks, he would have been called up. Trust me, he would have been called up.
All right, Sal, what do you got tonight?
We got SummerSlam tonight, but
SummerSlam.
If we're just talking Juve, I was just looking for an improvement from the Nuremberg game, and I saw that. It was finally nice to see, Luis on the pitch. I do think Thuram's going to wind up kind of being more of that, like, the destroyer kind of, midfielder. Guys, he's a beast, and he got a lot more minutes this game, so that's nice. It kind of shows to me that his fitness is accelerating. So not surprised either because the guy's got an engine. I don't know if you guys saw it, but Di Gregorio, man, that footwork.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
He's a monster.
Hey,
I think
I told you last week, honestly, when he came out, when the goalkeepers warmed up, it was him, it was Dafara, it was Perrin, and Pinsolio. Those four were the first players to come out to the warm-up against Nuremberg. And dude, I was sitting there. The ball that he pinpointed at the other guy's foot, like crosses, like across all the field, and perfectly like placed. Oh my God, he is great, man. He is honestly great.
I think the one thing I think we're going to see about him, I think if people are going to compare him to Buffon, I think that's going to be misaligned or ill-informed. I think based off the trajectory that I've seen, I think De Gregorio is going to overtake. It might be a hot take, but will come close to overtaking Neuer at some point if he continues this trajectory.
He's the Manuel Neuer type. I'm not going too far as to say that he will be that historically great, but his playing style is like a copy of Manuel Neuer. Yeah.
Because there was a couple of times where he ran out the box to take challenges. Like he ran out the box to press to win the ball back and facilitate play. So, and that's where I'm just kind of looking at it. I'm like, all right, Loca, take notes there, buddy. But it's totally a different. Like it's interesting because I've never seen us play with a goalkeeper with this ability.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I mean this is us, I guess, finally getting modern football. Maybe some form of it, I suppose.
And the problem is that people were out there and said, no, we don't want him because he was an Inter fan or is an Inter fan. Yeah. And they don't see the bigger picture, and that is my problem.
So's our coach, right? So, I mean,
yeah,
whatever. What do you do?
Yeah, and then also, I mean, guys, like every time I see Yildiz on the ball, I get that that little feeling, a little flutter, that flutter.
Oh
So,
boy.
Yeah. It's but it's good because I was everybody's saying, hey, where is our right now we're short wingers. Obviously, we're short on for depth, for sure.
Yeah.
But from what I saw from Weah and Yildiz, I wasn't mad at it. I wasn't mad at it at all. Obviously, you can't trot those two out for 90 minutes every game, so it's still something that needs to be addressed. And if we do wind up getting one of these guys, Galeno or Conceição alone, that's fine. But just as a base for those two, it's it was cool. I didn't mind seeing that at all. It was, but yeah, attack's definitely still a little thin. So hopefully that gets addressed. I mean, Douglas Luiz, wow,
Yep.
Yeah, it was everything that we were all excited about when we initially heard about him, for a small sample size. And then midfield, like Fagioli and Locatelli, they were okay. It wasn't like inspiring, right? But I don't know how much you're going to see of that in friendlies. But yeah, I don't know. I like them as depth pieces, but now especially if we get Koopmeiners coming in now too, I just see them as like really good depth options. I'd be surprised if either one of those guys are, as of right now, first choice starters.
Well, I'd be very interested as well. Like, how much of an attacking three do we need if the midfield actually just does its job?
Good point. Exactly. Good point.
The
Right?
problem is you still do. Let's say where's your starter on the right now, and Yildiz the starter on the left, because that is what we are working with right now. We don't know with the rumors if somebody will actually come or not. But let's take those guys. You still need rotation players.
Mhm.
Like if Chiesa's out of the picture, then you have to get a replacement for whatever the site would be that Chiesa was planned for. Like there wasn't actual plans, but you need still like one player to an exchange basically for Chiesa and an additional one. So you have the position, both winger positions double covered basically.
Well, and this is what we're hearing is that there's 4 more signings: Todibo, Coop, and then a couple of attackers, a winger and probably a striker. So
Yeah,
and I forgot, and you need the striker on top as well.
Yeah,
it's
and
in my
honestly,
opinion 3 front wingers.
That's the
3
one.
4 front players. Sorry.
That's probably the striker position is the one where you really haven't heard a name that's been sustained for as long as some of these others, right? You'll hear you'll hear a Redigui for a little bit, but then it'll go completely dark, and so on and so forth. So, I mean, honestly, if for whatever, I think Milik getting hurt really hampered sort of Giuntoli's ability to get him out sooner than later.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? If Milik winds up coming back healthy and he's the vice Vlahovic, like if that's going to be the biggest gap that needs to be filled, I'm okay with it. Especially if our midfield
problem
gets
is
the upgrade that it has.
Yeah. No, I would have agreed with you if it was last season. The problem is with all the competitions that we are in. I don't know. Let's say one of them is the starter for your Serie A matches and the other one for your Champions League matches, or for the Copa matches.
The argument I'm laying down though is that it looks like we're spending all this money on the midfielder. If the midfielders can just do their job, what I'm now saying is like, not that we don't need reinforcements, but that reinforcements could be just a Retegui or whoever, right? We don't have to drop heavy.
I agree. I agree with that absolutely.
They just have to show up.
I agree. Retegui number 1, not for that money, but a type like that. If you can get a guy like that, yeah, absolutely. My problem is just that if you have to rotate Vlahovic and Milik, I don't think. I'm sorry, Vlahovic is not good enough, but at least he has some worth that you can sell him for. The problem is that I don't know how Milik will work off if you rotate those guys and Milik, let's say, would be your starter in lots of Champions League games and Serie A games.
Well, I think he would probably be the Copa guy for sure. when that winds up coming back.
No, I agree, but then for No, I agree with that, but I think you still need a different striker. But I think that will be a move. I think that will be a move out of nowhere, like the Cabal situation, like it came from out of nowhere.
And even if we do wind up getting a striker, I'm not expecting anything. I think it would just be somebody serviceable for death rotation.
I agree.
Just because I have a feeling that when we do, if it looks like we're going to be closing the Koopmeier deal, I don't think it's going to be one of those installment things. I think we're going to have to dish out that cash right away.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
We're not really, so anybody else we're picking up, we're going to have to do on some kind of installment plan.
That's what Tadebo's looking like 10 million and then pay another 20.
Yeah, because they're really saving all that money. They're gonna Atalanta's gonna get it right away. It's my guess. I could be wrong, but that's kind of what it sounded like.
Yeah. And it looks like Fiorentina only wants to deal with cash as well.
Well, I mean, hey, if they can take McKennie off our hands,
The wages though, that's the thing. What kind of wages? He already wanted more.
2.5. Yeah, I don't. Well, I mean, he screwed that up with Villa. So whatever. Hopefully, his agent has.
He screwed himself, dude.
He screwed himself a lot.
He screwed himself,
and
completely.
us too, because we could have included him, and then if we wanted to sell Barrenechea, we could have, and that would have freed up a little bit more. We'd probably be a little bit further along in this process. So I have no problem with Juve freezing him out right now. So yeah, he screwed himself over. He screwed over the team. So whatever, dude.
And then there's Timmy, just trying to cut down the right.
I mean,
Timmy is very good.
Yeah, he found himself in some really good. Positions, but kind of 10 toes down was saying, right? The end product. I mean, that last one where I don't know why he tried to assist, but he should have just shot the fucking ball.
Should have,
yeah.
I don't understand what he was. It was 1-on-1 with the keeper. He could have slotted something there, or at least tried. And if anything, the keeper probably would have been able to get a decent save on it. It would have deflected it and maybe left it over, to somebody else in the box. So hopefully that, hopefully the guy, and I think Loca kind of talked him down a little bit after that. So he hopefully took that to heart. So, and gets a little bit more aggressive when he's in those kind of positions.
You like to hope, he hasn't had solid minutes. He was, the beginning of last season, he had a little bit more consistency, but then he dropped off, and I think that's maybe a lot of what it is.
He had injury problems, and then he was a bit, in my opinion, he was cut out of his abilities on the right side, because we played him in the wing back role where he had to care defensively more than he has to now. I think the right winger position fits him perfectly, and now you will get to see the best finally out of him. And in these two games, you already saw the speed, how explosive he is, and he has a great shot, and he showed it today again. He will score lots of goals. He will assist a lot. I think he will reach 15 goal contributions,
which would be great.
That would be great. Yeah,
because I said, I think we're going to actually get some goal contributions, like you were saying, from the midfield this year, right? Yeah. I mean, last year, I think altogether we didn't even crack 7, 8.
Yep.
Could be wrong, right? But that's everybody. So if you're going to start having Luis slot a couple of in Koopmeiers, if we get him, you know what I mean, spread out the goals a little bit more. That's really the hope, right? That's why we revamped this whole thing. Like I said, my only concern is how it's tough, because I think this week coming up is going to be crucial. If we don't close Coop and Tadebo this coming week, that Como game, we're going to be looking a little thin. So,
it'll happen. It's happening this week.
Yeah,
you'll see.
So, man. I hope so.
By the way, I think
deadweight out either.
I think this week we will sell 2 players, and I think we will sell 2 players. Now I don't know if the money has to come in. money has to come in, and I think Juntoli has stuff on the table that we don't know of. I think
Oh, of
Todibo
course.
is the first year that will get over the line, like from these two,
It is more advanced.
and yeah, and then when we see what we can earn, I don't know if there's suitors for Chiesa. McKennie, I think will be gone most likely. It looks like there are offers on the table for Nicolosi, and that small change is also worth something. Like it's still 7 for Nicolosi, or 8
even
or whatever,
I think
or
Hassa
10,
too.
something like that.
I heard Hassa to Palermo for around 4-ish.
Yeah, I mean, a few million here, a few million there, it does add up.
It all helps.
Because with the Soulé sell, even though we show that that gain immediately on the books, cash wise, we're only getting a fourth of that right now.
Yep.
So it's not like
Yep.
we're going to have that full 24 million to throw in.
Yep.
To throw in. I think that's why they're trying to do the structure the Todibo deal the way they are. That way they can still have cash on hand for Coop.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Really, it's smart. They got to take their time. They've been balancing it fairly well so far in terms of not rushing the deal so that you get a bad deal, but then also just closing it, know when to close. So I think they know if they want Coop that they can't sit on it. Like I've even heard that they want to keep Coop for the Super Cup.
Yeah, I read that.
It's like no, like he's either our player or he's not.
Either that, or you better give us a nice little discount. All right, we'll check. 10 million separate transaction if he wants to play that game. Oh, and if he gets hurt, that's on you. So.
Yeah, true enough. That he could get hurt. Yeah.
Yeah.
And would he want to? That's awkward.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, you already signed, and I think that was probably just a little bit of sensationalism that just got
I agree. Yeah.
That's just it's a big deal for them because they've never played that match before, but I mean, good luck anyway.
Well, he will. If he's going to be a Juventino, he's going to be able to play for some cups.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, if we're playing for that cup, that means we win the Champions League. So.
Yeah.
Or the Europa League.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to see Europa League for a very long time. So.
Oh my god.
So but I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I think you're hoping to see a little bit more. I think with Atalanta, you're going to see at least I'd say about 80%, depending on how the signings go, this week. I think that Atletico Madrid game, the guys you're going to see start that game, the majority of them are going to be starting against Como. So
that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So it's rather we have those pieces or not. Todibo looks like it's pretty much there. It's some bonuses. I think from what I've seen, the theme of the transfer market has been sell-on clauses.
Yeah.
So we've seen that go in both directions. Maybe even Monday. Like it looks like it's ready to go.
I think Todibo is just a case of like the couple of 100,000 here as immediate money, or here and there as bonuses. It's those stuff and how you pay the money instead of the overall value of the deal. Because the value of the deal is pretty much bang on 30 million. It's just a case of how are we dividing them.
Yeah. And then, I mean, another one that actually, with the exception of a bad pass that led to the first goal, I really liked what I saw from Cabal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked positive.
And he's playing out of position. Like when he plays properly on the left side, I think he will do really, 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 really well. And funny enough, now the video that we did where we said he's a fringe starter aged pretty well, I think now.
Maybe early days. We'll see how the season goes in. But I did like him. It was one of the bright spots. Both Gatti and Cabal together, they look pretty decent. I liked how Gatti actually stepped up a bit there and kind of took that charge. He played the Bremer role in the absence Like he was the starter defender essentially, right? He was the lead defender, and he led that back line for those 45 minutes, what have you, and it looked good. I wasn't upset with it. I mean, all the goals came in the second half, right? So,
did anybody else kind of get, and not saying that they're the same player, but did anybody kind of get that nostalgic feeling when you saw Luis take that corner of like when Pjanic used to take them?
Oh, no, I don't know. I wouldn't feel that, to be honest. But
no, I think not for me, because I saw Luis take them for Aston Villa like hundreds of times. I'm already used to the image of him taking the corners. That's why.
Yeah. I mean, just actually seeing a midfielder being able to take those, thinking, wow, he's going to put those in a good spot. I haven't had that feeling for a midfielder taking those since Pjanic days.
Just like the general feeling that you had confidence. Feeling. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see.
Exactly.
I see what you're
at. That's where I was going with that. Yeah.
And now imagine him and Cope Miners both are incredible at it, man. Oh man.
Yeah, we gotta close it. Because it does. The only reason I think that it's gonna close is because I think Atalanta's pretty much frozen as well until they get that kind of money to make any moves.
Yeah.
It's the only reason and there's really nobody else competing with us. So it's more just Atalanta being Atalanta, and but they're gonna need to get a couple more players to reinforce their squad too, because Zaniolo isn't gonna be enough. And I'm saying that very sarcastically, by the way.
No, they already put some money on the table, so they have to earn their money as well to be active on the mercato.
Yeah.
Well, the dominoes will fall. It's one of those situations, right? When that big money flows, especially within the league.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot will open up. There's probably
it's always a domino effect. It's always that way.
There's teams in the fringes that we're not even paying attention to right now. They're just like, Jesus Christ, just buy him already. Just get this deal over with so the money will start flowing.
And by the way, if I don't know how many times we said don't pay too much attention to preseason. Do you remember the team that slaughtered us 3-0 a week ago?
Yes.
Their league started today. They led 2-0 and lost 3-2. They allowed a hat-trick by a single player. So,
well, I mean, you saw. I mean, well, obviously, a lot of the that starting lineup for that game was guys who aren't they're next gen guys for the most part, right?
Yeah. And they were at their best already. They were at their best, so to say.
Yeah. But yeah, it was. I wanted to ask you guys, like, did you see them implement more of what you expect Mota to want to like lay out for his style of plays? Like, I'm talking like passing patterns and so on and so forth. I thought I saw a little bit more of that this game, sort of like what they were kind of trying to do, but was interesting to see if like what you guys saw.
The second half more so.
Look, I missed the first half, but the second half was like almost a copy of what we saw at Bologna last season. So we are getting to. I still don't think he has shown everything, and I think also that he has developed a bit more than just copying his Bologna tactics. But I saw a lot of his crosses towards the right edge of the box, for example, from the left to right, overloading a side to create a majority of players there, and then sharing it to the right side, where that is also very close to what Xabi Alonso is doing, overloading one side and then long ball to the other side to free a single player up. And he did a lot of that, and I'm honestly excited. It wasn't as sterile in ball possession. Like the Nuremberg game was completely like we had a lot of ball possession, but didn't know what to do with it. It really looked like a copy of Allegri ball a bit out there, and some cross and inshallah. But the second half here is closer to what I think our actual tactic will look. But I think he still has some stuff up his sleeve, because I don't think that he has already reached his full potential at Bologna. Like he will develop like actual different stuff, I think.
So it's hard to tell completely, especially, and that's why I say more so the second half. Because the first half you have a lot more of the fringe players coming on, and it was just so disjointed. And it was when the Brazilians came on, and that was more so our final look. And you started to see it click a lot more. So it's very player dependent like that, and that's one of my concerns with this Thiago Motta era, is that he seems to need like very specific profiles to pull this off. And it's like, what happens if we don't have those profiles? And we're kind of seeing that already. When you don't have your ideal lineup, it doesn't look good. So I don't know, there's good and bad, right? Like that's part of this whole preseason is kind of teasing that all apart. So I still have some reservations about this whole thing. Like I've never hidden the fact that I was an Allegri guy. I'm okay with Motta. I'm okay with moving on and whatnot.
All of us were.
Yeah, it's just it's not perfect, right? There's still a lot of room for growth, and we saw a lot of that in the second half, especially like Douglas Luiz was definitely the highlight. And just I can't wait. I know we're getting it like Thursday. I'm just calling it now. Thursday, Coop is gonna sign the papers.
All right, I'll take it.
Just throwing my money down.
Please just don't pay over 55. That's it.
Yeah.
It'll be for 55 and maybe like a few percentage sell on or something ridiculous.
Yeah. What did you? I guess the when I saw the starting lineup, the only thing I saw that kind of surprised me was I thought Atic was going to get the start.
Yeah, there was talks about that.
Like, yeah, I mean, I'm not reading too much into it. Like the kid's still very young, and I think he came on. He did come on, but it was pretty much like right towards the end of the game. But yeah, that was, other than that, the starting lineup seemed pretty much what I expected. But yeah, hopefully we have a few more guys in there against again. Well, hopefully we see Luis from the start against Atletico. That would be pretty nice. I expect the wingers to pretty much be the same unless we get another big signing in. I don't know if we're going to sign Todibo, Coop, and a winger by the time the Atletico
1
Madrid
week
game rolls along.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no,
Probably not.
That, no.
I'm not throwing money down. My money's not going on that one.
The problem with that is that you have to sell someone instead of that, and then you are doing 4 deals within the weekend. It gets even more.
I mean, you guys saw that list from Skira, right? As far as like all the dead weight that's still
I read it out during the stream today.
Yeah,
dude, that's like it's so wild.
R2 is still there.
Kostic,
McKennie is still there. Milik is still there.
He who shall not be named.
At this point, he who shall not be named is dead weight.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, I'll just bam. Just put the whole list in the chat. You guys can read it.
Does it fit? You fit the character level? Wow, that's impressive.
Oh, did I? The last one. The last one's Olivieri. It didn't quite make it. Just got okay. So like, yeah. So it had to go in a second message. So the Olivieri is the rest of it.
Yeah.
Urk 10 coming in. Did you change your channel name? Yes, we did. I love the M, the Mercedes, or the BMW M. I can't believe it's Mercedes.
Man.
I just screwed that up. I said M for Mercedes.
Be careful. Be careful. You might offend some Germans out there that are fans of specific brands.
I'll just say Dodge is better than Chev and just like walk the other way. Get all the Americans.
That is like confusing Apple for Android.
Oh yes, no, I know. That's those mistakes, the slip of the tongue. I'm sorry, but yeah. So we didn't really talk about it so much in the stream. I guess we could dive in a little bit. We put all the social media posts everywhere out there, but I mean it's not going to reach everyone. But basically, yeah, we did the double D thing, but then there was 3 Ds, and then it got kind of weird, and we didn't want to leave one of the Ds out.
It was 2 Ds, and then a third D joint, and then yeah.
So basically, German Dave's fault. Yep.
It is.
Hey, it's my fault. It's my fault. I crashed the plan. Sorry.
Yeah, we just want to do
Even
something
the-
a little fresh and exciting.
And also the logo was 2 Ds, and it's
Yes,
kind of
2
weird when
Ds.
you have then three Ds.
He was the third wheel.
3D, that's a cool one. 3D, yeah. 3D entertainment, not bad. I wonder if that was taken.
Let's wait for DP.
Hey, is that Irk or Eric? Eric.
Irk?
Hey, Irk. If you're in the Discord, man, you'll get a heads up on all that stuff, dude. So I highly recommend you get on there. That's where all the fun stuff happens.
Love it. Sal's doing all the advertising for us. There's the QR code.
And I don't know if Eric 10 is a wrestling fan, but brother, you're welcome, because tonight we are doing a watch party of SummerSlam.
Yeah. I might
Dave,
drop
how
in
are
for
you
some of
staying
that.
up for all this, dude?
And we have another Bloodline Rules match.
Yeah.
He didn't even answer. He doesn't care.
Oh my god. Another time Bloodline Rules, brother, it will be shenanigans again, man.
I thought it was 2 nights, but I guess they're not starting that format for SummerSlam until 2026. So I thought
I thought that as
Sunday.
well, and then I saw earlier today. Oh, I guess it is one night.
Yeah. Oh, there he is.
Still no camera. Oh boy. We'll acknowledge you, Dash. Where's your pretty face?
It's right here.
Acknowledge me. So you think he will return as well, yeah? Dude,
If not, I sent the video. I sent that
if not,
video
this-
in Discord.
If not, the main event is fucked.
Yeah. Agree.
And speaking of the third D, he finally shows up late.
I was there. I was there. I had to do this thing. It's called Drive Home.
No, I know. We're glad he
But
can make it.
technically he is in time for when the usual start of the college will be.
This is true. We do normally start at this time. But we decided just to roll right through it. Why not? We're here. I was going to say the second part of that sentence.
I just dove in.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard Dash, but we're getting Coop on Thursday.
Yeah.
On Thursday. Okay.
Yeah, it's Thursday.
That's the bold take.
And like the announcement won't even be until like Tuesday, but it's going to be like a here we go from Romano on Thursday.
I think Friday, because I think Todibo on Wednesday.
Can like at this point, because it's just like Romano, Agresti, and them, like they're not insiders anymore. They're just gonna sit there and be like, oh hey, the deal's done. Let me just post about it like 15 minutes before it's actually announced. Like that's what it's gotten to at this point. There's only like a few journalists now that are kind of like sticking their neck out there and just saying, hey, this is looking like it's done. Like I know when people are like, I won't believe it until Romano says it. Yeah, because Romano waits for it to actually be announced for him to actually say it.
Do you know what's crazy to me though? In Serie A, in my opinion, Di Marzio is still the best one. When it regarding transfers, he's still earlier than all the other guys all the time. I need a little bit of time because I have to translate everything always, because he posted in Italian. So I need 1 or 2 minutes, and Sel is already like there with translation and everything. but I think Di Marzio still with Serie A is actually like the best journalist out there. Fabrizio already sold his soul to the Premier League, man.
Yeah, Padula as well. Did you guys see what Mota said post match?
No.
No, because
Mota said this: whoever remained in Turin is not part of this project, and the management is sending them out.
Marching papers.
Oh, mama. Harsh words, but all right.
That sounds like a coach who has the full backing of his sporting director.
And then,
Dude,
hold on.
Oh my god.
Hold on, it gets better. Reporter asks, Mota, what are your thoughts about Chiesa being left out of this project? I am absolutely convinced that this is the right decision.
Dash, you're beating a dead horse, man. Stop it. Oh my god, that is harsh.
His words,
Oh,
as Deadpool would
man.
say it.
So
His words,
Oh
not
my
mine.
god, dude!
How
You
long
will
until
see.
the kick?
You will see Fabrizio will do a story about this because it's Chiesa, and all the Juventus fanboys will be under the Instagram post. I'm telling you right now.
We'll be waiting.
How long until the case of fanboys say Mota out? That's what I'm waiting.
They already
That'll
did.
be the.
They already did before the Euros.
Just let me taste those tears. Just
Oh
bring
my
them.
god. Oh my god.
I don't know who's worse, if it's Chiesa fanboys or Sule fanboys. Between one of those two, man.
They're the
Oh,
same.
Chiesa
They alternate.
fanboys.
They alternate between the two.
Chiesa fanboys. The Chiesa
can't.
fanboys are worse. The Sule fanboys didn't have enough time to establish. Like, fortunately.
You think like you think that we're just like selling our future away.
We're selling Jesus. The problem is we're selling Jesus.
I don't understand. I'm like, what am I? Because I guess maybe it's some insecurity of me. What did I miss that is causing all of this angst? Like, am I that old and just not paying attention?
This is Dad bod goals right here.
By the way, those pants. What are those pants, man? Oh my god.
Same
Taylor.
Same Taylor as Dusan.
Oh, man.
Mamma mia. Man, he is a young coach. He should. Oh man.
That to me is awesome. Those quotes were awesome. He wasn't called up due to market reasons, but also, by the way, whoever remained in Turin, I don't consider part of this project, and the management is finding a solution for them.
Dude is a menace, man. He's
Are you sure about? He's like, are you sure about this? I am 100% convinced that this is the right decision.
Oh my god.
Hey, we're somewhere average Chiesa enjoyers on Twitter just crying in the corner.
There was actually I usually share these on the Discord, but there was, I think it was New York NYC Juventus or something like that.
Oh, Incognito or whatever his name is, yeah.
Whatever his name is, and he was saying something like, along the lines of, selling them is a bad idea. I'm talking about who, and he said something like, "Oh, what did you expect? What do you think his valuation isn't that bad? Like, what do you expect for that wage? 30 goal contributions?" And I had to respond. I'm like, we didn't even get half of 30 goal contributions. So, like, what are you talking about? What was it, 12, 11?
He's only gone double digits twice in his career.
Yeah, and I was just like, forget 30. Like,
he reached
15.
double-digit goals once. Goal
15.
contributions overall. Oh my god.
I need 15.
And then there's like, you sold your two best wingers. I'm like, since when was Sule one of our best wingers? He didn't even play for us. What, 2 games? That's our best winger. If he was our best winger, we wouldn't have loaned him out.
Yeah, that's the problem. He was our second best winger. That's the problem.
And then they're bringing up the amount of goals he scored for Frosinone. Over half of those were PKs. Like, what am I missing?
Sal's going off. I love it.
And then it's hilarious. And then he tweets, Chiesa would have been useful this game. And then someone responds to him, well, too bad he doesn't want to renew. And he's like, that's not true. Watch our video. I made a 15-minute video on it.
And somebody actually, who was it, 10 Toes Down, just mentioned Fenerbahce. Like, yeah, bring him there. Look, Immobile scored a goal in like 23 seconds. There you go. That's where Chiesa should go. Like, why not?
Dude, Chiesa should go to Galatasaray and play in the Trident with Icardi.
Yeah, he could take Zaniolo's old position.
Is Galatasaray, are they in the Champions League? I'm assuming yes.
Yeah, they were the champions, yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. You want a Champions League team?
They're the Champions League club, dude. Give them Kostic, give them McKennie, give them everybody that wants to play Champions League.
Yeah, hey, Turkey worked for De Zerbi, right? They hyped him up there.
I think Turkey is exactly what he needs.
Hey, man, it's just like the Lions then would say, hey, man, just come to Galatasaray. We're like the European football rehab.
Dude, please go
Zaniolo
there.
went there,
Zaniolo, Icardi.
Yeah. Like, that's totally fine, dude. Like, what? I just don't understand. Like, I've never... Chiesa, I can kind of understand Italian, whatever. You know, he had a good Euro. Okay, but like I really don't understand this Soulé fixation. Like I really, really don't.
I
And
don't
maybe
know.
I'm
He had
wrong,
a good,
but like,
he had a good under 21 Copa America once, maybe something like that.
This is a positive, guys. We got rid of all of our Argentinians.
that's do we really not have an Argentinian on the
Yeah.
squad?
No,
Unless there's like some guy forgot about on the
And
next
now,
friend.
and now,
Oh.
and now we'll win the Scudetto.
Facundo.
because of it.
No, Facundo's Uruguay.
He's Uruguayan.
Uruguayan.
Facundo's Uruguay.
Yeah, don't let him hear you say that.
Yeah, no, I corrected myself. Yeah.
No, that's
we
true.
don't have him.
we traded
Yeah.
in Brazilian Argentinians for Brazilians.
No, I hope
That's what
in
we're
this
rocking.
case it is a good one, because usually it's the other way around.
It just to kind of like, for example, with LJJ's comment, like, I don't understand how you can support. It's all 16-year-old fanboys that's on the internet. That's honestly what it is. It's just
Dude,
like
you have to give up with this stuff. Look, this is an observation I made in Germany, and I guess it is all over the world that way. Messi and Ronaldo killed the philosophy of having a club as a fan, because themselves as single players, it is like religion, man. You have Christianity there, you have that religion there, like it's so, man, I don't know, it's completely against everything that I learned when I grew up loving football. And those two are like reached a level, like individually, of course, also deservedly, because of what they were able to do, but those two figures have become bigger than club football is the problem. And the fans that chose a side in those battles is the generation that we are dealing with right now. And that generation is always choosing players and not clubs anymore. And that is also down to, dude, the Ronaldo fans are following him wherever he goes. And that's a problem. Real Madrid, it will always be Real Madrid, but for example, how many people followed him to Manchester United that were Real Madrid fans that wanted to see him there? When he came to Juventus, how many Ronaldo Juventus jerseys did we see that weren't fan of Juventus, for example? In Germany, it is everybody. I don't think I ever saw, like, except of the Juventus game that I went to against Nuremberg, I don't think I ever saw a Juventus jersey in the white that didn't have Ronaldo on it.
Yep. Ironically, right here, like literally right over my shoulder.
It's just, look, I mean, and if you're younger, I kind of get it, because you don't have a point of reference, right? So the player might be the reason why you started joining it, and that's totally fine. But I'm not seeing 12-year-olds complaining about this. I'm seeing, men complaining about
this.
That's
what I find ironic.
Like, look, I was upset when Schillaci left Juventus, but I was 12. Okay, so like, there's a difference here.
Oh, absolutely, huge difference. Huge difference. Well, I mean, it's just like, because, like, for example, I look at Chiesa's stats, and I just look at his thing over his entire career, and it's just like he wasn't this amazing guy. And I could understand TikTok edits being the reason why there is a cult for this guy. It's because the people that support him have the attention span of a fucking squirrel.
Yeah, and you know what? And I think what really pissed a lot of and this is more on the Soulé side, because I just can't let this go. What really pissed me off was they saw the reaction that he got when he was at the airport in Rome, right? And they're like, look, they know what they have on their hands. I'm like, no,
it's Roma,
right? I'm like,
and also
that's small club mentality shit. Like,
no, hold up, and also, you fucking hypocrites. If you look at how Roma received him, why didn't you receive him like that? Or why didn't you receive? Dude, nobody went to Douglas Luiz when he arrived like that. Nobody went to La Continenza or the airport when Thuram arrived.
Yeah, nobody did for Soulé.
Dude, what the hell? In Juventus, they're not doing it for any player right now. So what the hell?
Even for
leave Roma alone.
It was in front of the Continenza. Yeah, it was a bigger crowd than most, which is understandable. They didn't mob him at the airport. That's what I'm saying. Like what? Do we forget the welcome that Dybala got?
Dude.
Yeah, the whole fucking
I was
city.
just gonna say, dude, for Dybala, they need to book the whole Colosseum, man.
Yeah.
You haven't won a Scudetto
Juve.
that long. It's hard to find things to get excited for. I guess the Conference League championship wasn't enough. But like, dude,
Giuntoli could donate his left testicle to Roma, and they would put it in a fucking museum.
like guys,
like,
players are gonna come and go. Managers are gonna come and go. The club stays. The club stays, guys. That's it. The club stays. The sooner you come to grips with that, like the less stress you're gonna have about this game.
Except that one club in France. Who was it that they just folded?
Ah, yeah.
Bordeaux, Girondin Bordeaux.
Yeah, that
sounds right.
But yeah, that was my boomerang, guys.
The sad story is, of course, I don't know a lot about Bordeaux, but I remember like in the early to mid 2010s, like they were perennial like Champions League participants and everything. So the overall story like is actually sad.
Well, Zidane played for them, didn't he?
Yes, he started his career.
Okay.
Yeah.
Started his career there.
There you go.
Yeah. That's sad. I mean, it was kind of like, who was it? Parma a little bit, although they almost folded. They're back now, but they were almost right there. And if that would have happened, it'd be a travesty because Parma in their day had some great players.
Yeah.
So, gentlemen, I propose because 3 of us or maybe 4 of us might be watching SummerSlam right after this. Shall we sign off now and give us some time to prepare for SummerSlam?
That's fair. Yeah. So that's
Dave. You've been going for
Eastern, right?
Yeah, you've been going for 3 hours.
I took a 5-minute break.
I came in straight from work. I didn't even eat anything for the whole day.
I know. I'm still in my work clothes. I need
None
a
of us
shower.
eat. We don't eat when we do this, guys. We just run on pure hate.
Dude, I arrived home, threw my backpack.
Because here's the thing, guys. If you guys don't know this, so we watch WWE like the premium live events, like the Big 4. We always get together. We go on Discord. And we do a watch along. We bring in Maple Dave, and Maple Dave just has the best one-liners at some of the most random points of the match.
I have no idea what's going on.
He has no fucking clue what's going on, but he'll say some perfect. He is like as close as we'll get to Deadpool because he is actually Canadian.
I'm excited I'm excited
Cool.
for what he would have said if he sees Nia Jax wrestle.
All I gotta say, I saw.
Were you there for that? He did. It was fucking hilarious at the Royal
Rumble.
Rumble.
Oh, maybe I might remember that.
Yeah, the women's Royal
Dave's
Rumble.
like-
He had some really good one-on.
Yeah, when he saw Nia for the first time, he's like, "What the fuck is that?"
but the question is,
was that the one?
yeah. No, our Truth eliminated himself. He said, "Oh,
Those are women?
Oh, these are women."
That's a woman.
and he went out and said, "My bad."
My bad.
Oh,
You're gonna get me canceled now. That's Discord talk, guys. Jeez.
Sorry.
That starts in 40 minutes. So
Yeah. Let's sign her off. We got the Wednesday tinfoil hat show.
cover
if you're
Dash's
any-
face with the Discord.
Cover my face.
Got to cover somebody's face. It's yours.
Gosh, wow, what a way to kick off the new brand name and everything, huh? The dive and all of it. People wanted us to do 3Ds, triple Ds. What are we, tits? Come on,
We were
Grow
playing
up.
tits today.
you savage.
Made me think of Total Recall, guys.
No.
If anybody remembers that scene.
All right. But anyway, everybody, new folks, like and subscribe. If you want more Juve, Beppe is live, so you can go over there and listen to Beppe. Wrestling fans, we're on Discord. We're going to be doing a watch along on Discord. So go get your snacks, get your stuff, because we're going to watch some cinema.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Oh,
Because I got new music too.
all right.
I love it. It's rocking.
Going a little heavier, boys.
Sure.
Is that you playing that guitar?
It's Mr. Dave here, Maple Dave here with the absolute guitar solo. Make sure you like and subscribe to the video. Make sure you see us on Wednesday because we're not doing any Formula One because it is the summer break. But like always, like and subscribe, and make sure you dive in on the Wednesday Tinfoil Hat Show with The Dive.